안녕하세요. 소소합니다. 감사합니다. Hello, and we're back with part 2 of the Formula of Love album review. Last video we did Moonlight, Cruel, and Real You. And of course there already were reactions done for Scientist, Icon, Last Waltz, Candy, and The Feels. And those can be found in the Twice Reactions playlist. We're going to continue on now with Fall in Love Again, which is Nayeon who has the writing credit for this one. So let's check it out. Disco, funk. Again, the bass, man. Every single track on this album has just this phenomenal bass sound. It's so funky, man. Disco right from the start because of the very dramatic sustained string sound that comes in, right? And the production on the vocals of this is to make them sound really, really big. There's a lot of airiness and a lot of that falsetto register. It's like pretty high, but the way that the reverb is applied in the EQ, it makes it a very, very wide sound over the top of everything else that's going on. Straightforward drums, right? Like it's a pretty tight groove with the drums. You got the kick, and there's a little tap on the ands, boons, 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 and then it's straightforward until you get a drum fill, right? Like it's really fun. And then a nice, so a couple of crazy sections that were kind of like breakdown sections. One where you could really hear the guitar work. There's some very cool licks that come in during the chorus section. It just sounds super funky. Like it's a very, very nice 70s funk guitar sound. It's mostly clean with a little bit of a signal on there, like a distortion signal, mostly like amp distortion, not necessarily any sort of pedals or effects or anything. It's very much from the era, like feels like that time. But some super funky licks in the chorus section, and then a sort of breakdown section where you can hear the guitars really playing chords for the rhythm section, and it's again percussive, so very quick. The 16th note subdivision, alternate strumming, but it just upholds that funk sort of style. Very much disco vocals, very much. I don't know if this is straight nylon all the way through. I feel like there's some backing vocals in there for sure. But it's another really fun song. There's so much of that disco funk influence so far in this album. With pretty much like everything. I mean, Candy's probably so far, right, without having heard every single song yet. You got Candy, which is much more like pop ballad with straight up conventional voice leading in the. It's almost like a straight circle of fifths type of chord progression on Candy. Last Waltz, that also has its own sort of groove. Icon is much more reggae funk kind of, but everything else has heavy elements of disco and funk on it. But it's very fun. Like it's super fun. There's some massive sounds in Fall in Love Again though. Every time the beat drops, when it the way that the ambience sort of swirls up, everything starts to build up again for whenever the kick comes back in, and it's a very, very big sound, and the vocals are at the same time as being a little bit more softer, a little bit airier, and a little bit higher. The way that they're treated in the production is they're a very, very huge part of the mix. Like they're really big. But it's all enjoyable. They sound incredibly good, man. Incredibly just clear, immaculate vocals. It's another fun track. This is back-to-back bops, just like the whole way through. You know what I mean? It's like it's really incredible. I mean, there's no like. There's not a bad there's never a bad song, right? There's never a bad Twice song, but every single track on this album is fun, and it's just they're all solid, every single one so far. Okay, Last Waltz, we have that already, so we're gonna move on to Espresso. Now this is one that I've been waiting to check out also, cause it's one of those songs that kind of a lot of people love it. You know what I mean? It has its own like appreciation already, as most Twice songs do. But let's check it out.
널 깨워 심장은 뛰고 몸으로 퍼져가지 단 한 번에 Perfect cafe Take it away 중독된 것 같은 느낌 Loving it One shot 24/7 널 미치게 하는 who I am. Espresso, that's who I am. 한마디에 빠져들어 이제는 돌이킬 수 없는 fantasy에 이미 너는 이게 필요해. Take it away. 중독된 것 같은 느낌 of it. Can't stop 그대로 내게 너무 가지면 조금 위험해. 더 진하게 멈출 수 없어 삼켜버린 걸. 따뜻해진 너의 color 더 깊어진 bitter flavor. 너만 느낄 수 있어. 심장을 뛰게 한다. Drip drop 한 번씩 떨어지는 건 너에게 완벽한 내 potion. If you never seen before, get ready, babe. Keeps you awake, 그래 따뜻하게. Drip 진하게 달콤하게. Drip 진하게 향이 넘는 너의 심장을 뛰게 하자. Espresso, that's who I am. Espresso, that's who I am. 이 세상 모든 색깔 전부 다. 이 세상 모든 색 전부 다 blended. 내가 되어 선명해지는 그게 날 춤추게 해. 짙어지는 이 향기 더 깊어지는 이 story. I'm not saying once, I'm not saying twice. Look in my eyes. 심장을 뛰게 해. Drop 한 번씩 떨어지는 건 너에게 완벽한 내 potion. If you've never seen before, get ready, babe. Keeps you awake, 그래 따뜻하게. 진하게 달콤하게. 진하게 전화 없는 너의 심장을 뛰게 한다. Espresso, that's who I am. Espresso, that's who I am.
Again, the bass on this is such a massive, fat, like grindy sort of bass sound on here. It's chunky, man. It's so big, massive vocals too, huge. Dude. I mean, like you're talking chest voice, dude, and pushing way up into head voice, like really, really high registers, and they're not subtly done either. Like there's power vocals going on in this. Lots of fun triplet rhythms in the vocal parts. Dun da dee da dun dun da dee da da da. Like both triplets within the beats, and then your sort of big triplets. Dee da da dee da da da. And the drums too. Like there's a kick and there's a hat, right? Like typical kit sounds that work with the that crazy fat wonky synth bass that's going on. But then there's also like huge bass, like symphonic bass drums, like the big boom, you know, with when you hit with those giant mallets. I mean the big drum, dude, the big bass drum. And it's got massive reverb on it. It's a huge, like this song has it's big, like it has big sounds in it, big vocals, big bass, big drums. Everything is just like boom, like it's round and it's got body, you know what I mean? It's got that volume, like it's got thickness to it. And it's again, it's just super fun, dude. Super fun. I mean, all these massive elements in the mix, all these massive sounds, you know, it's in 4, but your triplet groupings in the vocal parts put a little spin on it. They make it fun as far as sort of the different rhythms that are going on at the same time. And really, really awesome, like power vocals. Like, oh man, they're going up. There's some high notes in here. Man, they're let me see. I think this might have been like up until now, if we're going all the way through, you know, Scientists, you know, down through Last Waltz actually has some pretty big vocals in it too, now that I remember. Especially on the actual, like, in 3 waltz rhythm parts to it. Like, Can We Stay in This Moment, you know, like this, it's big. It's a big sound. But this is just massive. Everything in Espresso was massive. It was not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting that at all. I didn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? I thought it was. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be a bit lighter. You know, I didn't expect it to be, so massive and so deep and so thick. Right? Like, oh my goodness. But it's really fun. Oh, the bass sound, dude! I'm telling you, the thing about this album is the bass. Like, across all song mixes, the bass is just a huge. It's so well done. Like, it's when it's a played bass, it's always really fun. It's always really engaging with the rhythm, and it sounds great. When you get like portamentos and stuff, it's always just super fun. And when it's a synth bass, it gets such consideration through its production, and it always drives the progression in every single song, where you have like strong bass in it, which is most of the songs, but it's really driving that chord progression in each one of these. And it's a super important part. It's so important to most of the songs on this album. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, most Twice songs, which is kind of becoming intuitive of like JYP production style, right? Maybe more so with this particular group, but it's always done with a great high degree of consideration for what it's actually doing within the mix, and also within the chord progression, like composition wise. But what again, another fun track. Let's see. Fun, big, also bright, also still pretty warm. Like, most songs on this album are warm, to hot, right? Like, some of them are a little bit warmer, and some, like Espresso, it's hot, right? It's hot, and it's rich, and it's deep, and it's thick. Like Espresso, you know what I mean? It's very well done, man. These concepts are being executed very well within the mix and within the composition. Also, this is kind of what's adding up to this being such a good album. In addition to, or supporting, reinforcing, and supporting Twice's vocal performance. It's really a blast. Okay, let's check out this song. It's called Rewind. What do we got here? It says algo sipji anha. I think that's right. I'm trying to read the Hangul characters, syllables, but in parentheses it says rewind.
알고 싶지 않아 어떻게 지내는지 돌이켜보면 다 별거 아니더라 너의 말처럼 잘 지내고 있어 그토록 바라왔던 꿈도 넌 이뤘어 궁금하지 않아 네가 몰랐어 그렇게 간단한 건지 우리의 헤어짐이 너에겐 그렇게 쉬웠던 건지 이젠 다 지나간 일인데 누군가를 너무 사랑했던 내 예뻤던 모습은 너무나 그리워지네 알고 싶지 않아 어떻게 지내는지 돌이켜보면 다 별거 아니더라 너의 말처럼 잘 지내고 있어 그토록 바라왔던 꿈도 난 이뤘어 궁금하지 않아 싶지 않아 어떻게 지내는지 돌이켜보면 나 별거 아니더라 너의 말처럼 잘 지내고 있어 그토록 바라왔던 꿈도 난 이뤘어 궁금하지 않아 난 알고 싶지 않아 난 궁금하지 않아 yeah, yeah, yeah. 알고 싶지 않아 어떻게 지내는지 돌이켜보면 다 별거 아니더라 너의 말처럼 잘 지내고 있어 그토록 바라왔던 꿈도 내 이뤘어 궁금하지 않아 알고 싶지 않아 어떻게 지내는지 돌이켜보면 다 별거 아니더라
Super soulful R&B jam. What incredible harmonies. So sweet. The vocal part in this song is very, very sweet. All the harmonies are so sweet. Everyone's sitting a little bit higher in their registers. And not really belting, not as much power behind the vocals as in Espresso. Somewhat measured, still has that airy, warm quality to it. I love the lo-fi piano sounds, like almost skeletal on the chord progression. Again, the bass, was lovely harmonizations and vocal work to begin the song, and I thought, maybe this is going a little bit more towards the ballad side. But once we get the drums and the bass that come in, it's clearly an R&B type of groove. Really nice play between the rhythms in the bass part and in the vocals as well. Again, it's just a great bass line, super fun to play. You can hear the difference, right? Like the bass part in this song is played, and this is on the bass, ba-doom, 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 boom, boom, versus a Espresso, which was obviously a synth bass, right? You can hear the difference quite clearly. But man, because the percussion in this rather light, sticks to pretty much the eighth note subdivisions, gives you your ands, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's the bass is moving around, changing up its rhythm, syncopating, and the vocals are dancing around all the way across the top of everything. It's incredibly sweet harmonies, but also very good rhythms. Lots of different syncopation patterns, triplets, 16th note subdivisions. Just, really, really nice, really great. Like, it's a subtle type of emotional delivery, They're really careful with it. And in that, they sort of continue on that warm quality of it, that warmness, right? But it's a very nice R&B song. Just, man, it's super sweet. It's kind of like it's a nice counter to what Candy is. Candy is sweet, right? It's a very sweet song. It's very, very sweet. Everybody's singing up high. Again, it has great harmonies in it also. And the mix is rather soft, right, in comparison to a lot of the other songs. But this this rewind as an R&B type of groove, a little bit darker, you know, not too dark. It's not too dark, not too sad or anything like that, but it has a measured type of sweetness, and it's a nice, you know, dark tone, minor sounding tone compared to something like Candy, what Candy is. But it's a great song, man. It really is. It's a fantastic R&B groove. It's incredible. Oh man, they sounded so good in this. This is like, it's a chill track. This is very much a vibe. You know what I mean? Like you can relax to rewind. Like it really is. It just, man, it puts you in a nice place. That's for sure. Okay, what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go for it. I'm going to put Cactus into this second part, and then we'll cut here after Cactus. When we come back, part 3, to finish it, we will do the 3 tracks, Push and Pull, Hello, and 132, with their specific member arrangements, and we'll go ahead and wrap up the album that way. So let's check out Cactus, which I know, according to Geo, this is inspired by a houseplant that died. I don't think we've done Cactus, right? No, I don't think so.
나는 아직 어리고 한낱 작은 나이 오늘 한껏 뒤틀 수 없는 난 아마 난 버텨봐도 또 나는 또 깊이 헤매여 혼자서 갈수록 내게 또 다른 것들이 자리해 어서 빨리 Save me, oh save me 남겨진 이곳에 내 홀로 더는 넌데
Mm, 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 mm. Rock ballad? Rock ballad? No. Oh, man. It I just, you don't know what to expect, right? But this is definitely a rock ballad song. Uh, as soon as the drums come in, the kit sounds on this, the way they're so huge, and it's obvious rock rhythms, right? Um, Great guitar work also, and not that clean guitar arpeggios in the beginning, and that sort of sound that it keeps coming back to, right? Um, it's another. This one is a little bit. There's a little bit of sadness to it, which that makes sense. There being a houseplant that died, so there is a little bit of a sadness to this song, but it isn't too heavy, right? It's once the chorus section comes in and the guitar part starts to hit these really big chords with distortion. It's playing whole notes. It's letting that chord sound ring out across each measure. Nice drum fills, like a really, really great kit sound on this. The percussion on this is like it is spot on rock ballad. Really, really huge sound. This would sound great live with a band, It has a great bass part again as well. Everything, the instrumentals in this are fantastic for the style, for the rock ballad style. Great vocals too, man. Nice, sweet, almost a little bit melancholy, building up to huge vocals. The way the bridge section builds up to a very, very powerful high note, and then it goes immediately back into the clean guitar arpeggios and the soft vocal lines that are going on. It's a very cool transition. It's incredibly smooth, very sweet, and then we come back in after we get a phrase with the entire mix sound. We get the guitar back in, drums, bass, and big harmonies too. It's a great rock ballad song, man. It really is. It's Rewind kind of sets you up for that, It's such a chill vibe song, puts you in a nice place. Cactus starts to build you back up again right afterwards. Going into this song, the instruments get really, really big once the drums come in. It's massive drum sounds, massive vocals too, but those really sweet vocal and guitar parts that are in the verse sections, very soft, very measured, very clean. It's it's weird. It's because it's a Cactus. It's a song about a house plant, and it's just rather epic sounding rock ballad type of song. That's great, man. That's great. It's just you don't see it coming. And then it hits you. It's like boom. Oh man. Yeah, this would be a great song to do live, to hear live. You get a band, can play this, and then have them just do the vocal parts over it. Fantastic live performance. It's made for that. It's written for that. The production on this is, gives it the quality of a big stadium setting live performance. It's one of those stadium rock ballad type of songs. Man, it's fantastic. It's almost like oh man, it's yeah, it's a perfect track to kind of, like to just end here for now till we come back. It's a nice little cadence as far as a song goes. So we have, the formula of love. Obviously, once plus twice equals love, but some of these elements, some of these factors that are in there, of course, we know fun. That's what we established on the first video. Fun. It's also got to be big, right? Like a lot of these sounds are really big bass sounds, big drum sounds. It has to be strong too, right? So you got fun, you got strength, you got presence, you got also sweetness and warmth, right? All of these qualities are in all these songs and all throughout the mixes. And these are the factors, these are the elements that go into, the ingredients that go into the formula of love. And it's a fantastic work so far. It totally makes sense, man. This is, one of their best performing albums for sure. And yeah, it's no mystery. We've only got three tracks left, so we'll do that in the next one. Go ahead and finish up the album. And man, it's absolutely top tier so far. You know what I mean? Unless we can already say that's what it's gonna be. There's no, I'm still gotta get through the last three tracks. But can we agree already that this is just a top tier Twice album? It's just, it because it's a full album, because you get so much there, so many songs, so much substance on it. So this is what really gives it its weight and its place as being one of these top tier Twice albums. Man, definitely prefer full albums, right? Like this is understandably one of the best ones. It's for a reason. Man, it's incredible. It's incredible the places that the album has already taken us so far. It just, from these disco stylings to these really crazy, funky, powerful stylings. If we were remembering songs like Last Waltz and Icon, some of the fun places that we go there, it doesn't leave anything out. It takes you absolutely everywhere. It's a bit of a roller coaster. It's high, it's low, it's left, it's right, it's up and down. It's like it's all over the place. Super fun. Very, very good, man. Very good. So we'll just cap it off next time. Finish up the last three tracks in part 3, and yeah, we'll be there next time.